Hey, what's going on, everybody? How you doing? Just wanted to come on here real quick. I'm not sure when I'm going to be able to get my next ugly critiques up, so I wanted to put something up. As many of you know, I'm on the ass end of my career. Next June, I'm done. Not to give the end of that match away, but yeah, I'll be done in June. If that's the way the show works out, that'll be my last match. But around then, I'm going to wrap it up. So, got a few matches left in me, but a lot of people were asking me, and this goes Vets, Greenhorns, and just recently somebody who's not even in the business of wrestling. What am I going to miss most about wrestling and about the business or whatever? And mind you, when I say I'm retiring from wrestling, it's just the in-ring performing stuff. I'm still going to, hopefully get my school running again, book shows and things of that nature. Still going to be around because my kids are doing it, and all my friends are still doing it. So I'm still going to be around and I'm still in the business, just not the in-ring performing thing, which, as many people know, I love wrestling and performing, but it's not the number one thing that I enjoy doing. It's like third on the list. It's training, booking, and then wrestling. God dang it! So it's not the main thing I look forward to on shows, anyways. Actually, can't get out this business fast enough lately, it feels like. So, but anyways, when people ask me that, it's kind of a hard to answer, because there's so many things I'm going to miss about in-ring stuff and those things. I'm going to play a video after this that kind of explains what I'm going to miss, and then I'll talk to you about why I'm going to miss it. It's not the reason why you think, but yeah, it was an experience I had a few years ago. Made my return to DOA in Oregon, and I was in what's called a six-pack challenge. It's all the champions, six former champions from DOA got into a match and wrestled Wade Hess he was the champ at the time, and so they brought in five guys to wrestle him for the six-pack challenge. But I'm gonna play that video, and then I'll get back to you and explain why it meant so much to me.
You must make some noise for the return DOA. Here he is. He's big. He's bad. He is big.
All right, I hope you all enjoyed that video. It's kind of just the entrance. I don't want to show the whole match because it just takes too long. But I'll try to get into this quickly. But the reason why that meant so much is when I first started in Portland, I I worked the show for Portland Wrestling, and then did one show they didn't ask me back. So whatever the reasons are, it is what it was. I wrestled as the Pablo Mendoza anyway, so it didn't matter. But I ended up working for PMPW, and I ran into the Blanchards there, and I had trained with them, so I knew who they were, and they were like my boys too. So they invited me to PMPW, and I worked there for about half a year to a year. Got to work Road Warrior Animal and Rick Steiner, and got to team with Animal for a while, and just that's a dream come true for me. And it was fun, man. I had a good time, and then I became the champ, and then the Blanchards decided to jump ship and go to Portland Wrestling, and then apparently that meant I was gone too, because the promoter took the belt off me and just didn't tell me until I asked for my itinerary, which happens a lot in Portland. And then Culbertson, the Blanchards, talked to him about bringing me in, and I know at first I wasn't welcomed there a lot by some people who I thought wrestling was real, and so I wasn't welcomed well at first. But I got there, and I had talked to Ed Moretti, who's a legend, and had mentioned I know Vinny. Me and Vinny are tag partners, and he loved Vinny. They go way back, and so they brought Vinny up, and we started running there. And then I started bringing all my students up, and I mean the plethora of people we brought up, it's just amazing. Got to work with a lot of guys that met for the first time: Derek Drexel, Sullivan, Dr. Luther. I was working with Oliver John and the Reno Scum and Isadora, and just so much fucking talent, man. I got to work with there, and I know I'm forgetting some people, but Sullivan was the one that I really became close with after he had left. He had left for whatever the reasons were, whether he got fired or he just walked out. I know that when we started bringing in the Cali guys, as they used to call us, so we weren't really welcomed by a lot of people. They did a pay-per-view, and we pretty much were 80% of the pay-per-view was us, and it wasn't anything by our fault. If you look at it, the fans don't know where you're from. They go from where your gimmick is, not from where your really shoot is. But it's just the way we were outsiders, and when Mustafa was up there with us, so we just had a plethora of talent, Hayashi, Virgil, Timothy Thatcher, and I'm going to forget some people. Bonsai Bruce was a big star up there, and it was just really, did I say Hayashi? Hayashi was there too. Just a lot of my students were there, my friends, and it was just fun, man. Those road trips are a whole nother video. But so when that happened, I remember I messaged Sully on MySpace. That's how long ago it was. And just told him, hey, bro, sorry to see you go, man. And, I just want you to know that it's not about the wrestlers. It's always about the promoters, and promoters do whatever the fuck they do. And, don't get down on yourself, man. I said, I wish you were still here. You're highly talented. And we had a conversation. And, we became friends, because of that. Because I just wanted to ensure. I've always tried to talk to the young guys and try to explain how this business works. And it's not always about a promoter being a dick. A lot of times it is, but it's not always being a dick. It's sometimes it's a business move, and it should just never be about the boys, So once Portland shut down, I think Derek and Sully were running in NWWA. They invited me up, and I did some shows there. And then they had left and started DOA. So they asked me to come to DOA. And before I went to DOA, I wrestled for Sandy Barr and got to meet like Dr. Cleaver and a couple other guys there. And went started doing DOA, and it was running great. I was doing some really fun shit there, man. It was so fun. So I teamed with Sully for a while there. We were called Ugly as Sin, and had a great run. I got in a car accident. I was out for about a year and a half. Came back, started some shit with Sully on the return, and we had a match or two. And then Grappler asked me if I wanted to work for Roddy, that they were doing some TV show, and I was like, yeah, I just want to get booked. And Roddy and Piper brought me into Portland Uncut and helped me do my thing there, and I worked there for a while. They shut down, and then that right before that match, I was out of Portland Wrestling for almost a year, and the leading up to that match was a 6-pack challenge, what they call it, and they were doing this like 5 former champions were going to wrestle Wade Hess, and they didn't announce me. They announced all the other guys and didn't announce me. So I got there early, like way early. Sat in the locker room and just sat there till the match. And I remember getting ready to go out there. I'm telling Sully, dude, I don't know, man. Like, they're gonna remember me. I don't want to go out there and get no fucking pop. I get the "Who's this" chant or something, And So just use Jeremy, have Jeremy do it. He's a former champ too, and I was trying everything I do to get out of it, and I was just really fucking nervous, dude, that they weren't going to remember me. And I was talking to Ethan HD that night about it because Ethan's one of my favorite guys, and talking to all those guys about it like this, and they're like, dude, you're big ugly, dude. Like, just fucking relax, man, calm down, and and I'm just like, what the fuck does that mean? I'm big ugly, I'm just one of the fucking dudes back here, and. So I went out there and the fucking place went ape shit. And I remember just getting that pop. And I walk in the ring and I'm looking, like, it looks like I'm looking at the fans, but I'm really looking at the boys around ringside. I want to say it was Quiz out there, Pugsley, Cleaver had to be there because he's a former champion. He's always in shit that I do. And of course, Hess, Sully, and I forgot the sixth guy must have been fucking CJ or something. I don't remember who the other guy was. I have to watch the video, but just looking at them going like, man, dude, like, fuck, I can't believe this is fucking happening. And the look on their face is like, what do you mean? You're surprised that this is happening? And so anyways, they're doing the ugly chant. I do my little gimmick and I stupid and all that stuff. And then I walk out to take my shit off and I look at Sully and Sully's like, you motherfucker. And I'm just looking at him laughing, and we do the match and the match is pretty good and, it's whatever. And, they put Hess over, and then we go to the back, and we're just all talking about it. I can't, I'm just like, what the fuck? I can't believe they remembered me, and as you're sitting there, trying to explain why this is so important to me is because all that time that had built up to that one moment of me making this return and people remember who the fuck I was because all these guys had put me over some point in their career. Like, they were the reason why I was over, whether it was at Sandy Bars, whether it was at Uncut or Portland Wrestling or DOA or NWA, wherever. They had put me over at some point into that position to get over. And it was like, we all did it. We all won. And it was just a small moment of our careers. Like, it was just a fucking one night that probably not a lot of people don't remember. But just that, the fact that that's the moments we live for, is we work our ass off to get people over. And to have those moments and to make that my moment, like my big return. They made that return for me, especially for me. And they had faith in me when I didn't have faith in myself, which happens a lot with me. The boys always have more faith in me than I do. And that's kind of a flaw of mine. But all that things we had done, man, the shit we had been through together, the conversations we've had, the road trips we've taken, just the bullshit we've all put up with promoters and fucked up payouts, and everybody's on cut knows what I'm talking about. Just led up to that where it was all that shit's just forgotten and we're just having fun with our friends. And, just living this moment, dude, that was just fucking like I said, it was electric. If you were there, it was just fucking awesome. And that's the shit I'm going to miss the most, is doing those things with friends and battling, man. Like I've trained, y'all know I've trained my kids and other people. And the one thing I tell them is I can show you holds. I can show you how to bump, facials, ring placement, work on your timing, moves, all this bullshit. But I can't teach you those experiences. You have to go out there and get them on your own. And that's why it's so important that you fucking travel. Like, I'm one of the few guys that have made a career on going to Oregon and wrestling. And not just because, I couldn't get over here, because I was over here too. But I was just going up there because that's where all my friends were, guys who I respect, and we broke in together, and I have a bond with a lot of those fans there because of that, and that's the shit I'm going to miss the most, is just those experiences, man, and the camaraderie with they're not just the boys, but the fans, and it's a shame, but that's just the way it is. You give back when you're on your way out, and it's an awesome thing, man. So I can't thank those guys enough for helping me live that moment, man. And one day, people. So hopefully somebody on this video is watching it, and you'll be able to understand what I mean when it happens to you. That you just have an utter appreciation for everything everybody in that business has done for you to shine and for you to be on top. When I was on Uncut and I was on top, it was because everybody that helped me get there, and you can't understand that until you go through it, man. Appreciation goes a long way in this business, and I appreciate anybody who's ever fucking put me over. Yeah, man, that's it. I got to end it here, but don't forget to like, subscribe, click the bell icon, and I will see you later.